Hello and welcome back to NJCDC's The Loft. Today we welcome back at the Neighborhood Help Center along with some new faces. Can we go around the room, introduce ourselves?
Yes, of course. I'll start. My name is Christina Tone. I'm the Neighborhood Health Center Assistant Director and now also an Outreach Director as well.
Moving up in the world. Okay.
Yes.
And my name is Antonio Hernandez. I am a supervisor with the Outreach team, and I'm also the manager of the LRAP program, which is the lead remediation and abatement program.
Awesome.
And my name is Gexon Casillas. I am the new community outreach coordinator.
Perfect. You know, you two are new faces. I've met you recently, new hires. You know, always great to see new people on the team. Like I always say to everyone who is new with NHC, you know, Christina Tone is the most busiest person at NJCDC, you know, so I'm always happy to see her get some extra help. You know?
I actually started with you many years ago.
Yeah, when I was just a volunteer, you know, just in high school.
No, not even. I think, 9th grade, 10th grade.
Yeah, that's when I started at NJCDC, you know.
Yes.
But I definitely, you know, continue to help out afterwards because, you know, Christina Tone is like the GOAT of NJCDC, the best of all time, the greatest of all time. But it's okay.
Well, the Vatican called, and we're still working on miracles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
To get her upgraded.
Yeah, she'll get there. It's like lost in the mail or something. She'll get it.
You know, it's in the same realm as getting her street named. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's next. I mean, we're working on it.
Yeah, we're gonna get it.
We have Peru Square. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that was one of our.
Well, I just don't know if we can change Barclay to Christina Way.
That'll be good. I'm for that. 100%. 100%.
That's a great idea.
Don't worry, I'll talk to the mayor next event.
Yeah, we got it. But Christina is, you know, the recurring face here. I want to know a little bit about you guys. So can you just kind of give us a little background, how you came upon NJCDC?
So my first experience with the NJCDC was around 2012. I was the national president of Hispanic Law Enforcement, and we were looking for a location for a conference where police officers from all over the Eastern Coast were going to come down from Maine all the way down to Florida. And we were looking for a place, and when we saw the historic building, and we brought everyone there. From there, I'm a retired police officer. I retired as a detective lieutenant at a municipality in Bergen County, New Jersey, which is adjacent to us. And I did 28 years. I retired, like I said, as a detective lieutenant. And when I retired, I saw the NJCDC was posting several positions. I always liked the work that was being done here. It's like I once told one of my parents. My mom says, "Why did you choose there over there?" I said, "Because they're doing God's work," and I'm not even religious.
There you go. Yeah.
You know. So and I had an opportunity to work at a school, and it was, you know, I was conflicted by both were good jobs, and I said to myself, you know, one's doing God's work and one's doing protecting God's children, so maybe I'll do that. But I decided here because I think that I could do more and help more people than I could as a security job at a university or college. You know.
Yeah.
There they have the Student Success Center for help. You know, they have all these other programs for help, and here we're on the ground helping individuals. I mean, I've heard so many horror stories over the past couple of weeks. Even as an outreach supervisor in lead, I've been involved in multiple walk-ins of domestic violence, of stalking, of aggravated assaults, and the Neighborhood Help Center is there to open the doors. And ironically, with all these criminal acts, here I was that came down and gave advice, gave direction, gave guidance as to how to proceed. So I think that that knowledge was very helpful to those people. And I think most of them, the procedures actually occurred as I stated. You know, there was people who came in with warrants for their arrest, and we assisted them in getting their court dates and making sure they went to court. And Christina went to court with them sometimes.
Let me tell you, Anthony, you know, I believe that there are no coincidences, and people are placed in places where they have to be sometimes. And, you know, I appreciate the work of everybody, and, you know, whoever comes to volunteer and help at the help center. But with Anthony, you know, and his heart and his passion, and his energy every day brings what the neighborhood needs, and especially the office. So we're happy to have him.
Most definitely. Yeah, definitely a lot of valuable experience for the NHC and for the community. So
Yeah.
awesome. That's great though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did more police work these past couple of weeks than I did last time. You got to remember, I was a
There you
detective lieutenant, so I sat at a desk.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're out in the field.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Gexon, you're up next.
Yeah, so I graduated with my degree in sociology with a concentration in social work from the College of New Jersey a few years ago. During my time there, I made really good friends with somebody, Brian Diaz. If you're listening to this, the city of Patterson loves you, dog. But he always spoke really highly about NJCDC and what the program or Christina did for him in his life. So that always kind of stood in the back of my mind. I graduated. I started working in social services. I was doing home inspections and case management for Housing Community Resources with DCA. Really informative experience. Great first job out of college. After that, I left to do some political member organizing with the labor movement and was doing that for a little while. Things changed. I was looking for a change in my life, and NJCDC kind of just came back up through a couple mutual connections. I called around, saw if there was anything open. And within a few weeks, I had my first interview. I met Christina, and the rest is history. I've really been just enjoying the opportunity. I'm not from Patterson, so the opportunity to learn the city of Patterson through your guys' eyes has been really informative, and I'm excited to bring what I have to the table here.
Awesome. And I actually know Brian. He was in Patterson Youth Council, and during my time around NJCDC, I was also in Patterson Youth Council. He was definitely really cool. So that's really surprising that you mentioned that. You guys are homies. So
Yeah.
I just found out yesterday, and I was like, Brian, I know so many people, right? But
Yeah.
I'm like, back in my head, I was like, that name sounds familiar. And when when he actually explained who it was, I was like, oh, he's my baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were there for him when he was young and applying for college. And I helped him out with connecting him with my son, who was actually in college at that time. So he helped him out with his essay and support and counseling. So yeah, I was so happy and excited that actually connections.
Yeah,
this
100%.
time.
I mean, you also helped me with my college applications too when that time came around. So you were coming in clutch for a lot of us Patterson Youth Council students. So we appreciate you for that.
I don't know how she ever leaves the desk.
Yeah, I don't know. I got her here. So
Well, we're all chipping in for an air tag.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Okay.
Whoever's assigned to watch her is always losing her.
It's it happens. It definitely happens with Christina. But.
I woke up this morning. I was like, okay, so I got to get ready for this interview today and the podcast. And I'm thinking like, I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm working anymore. Every day that I wake up, I come and I'm like, I'm so happy. I wake up and I'm like, I'm excited. What am I going to do today? It's like, It's not a job anymore, and I want this to be the same for all of our people that work for our team. And because I worked so many years, and I drove so many hours to punch in and punch out. I don't do that anymore. And every time we have clients that come in and that we can help and just give an advice or an idea or direction on what to do, where to go, and when they leave, they just live different. They go home and they're like, just giving thanks for the information we gave them, and that could change their lives, and that means a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we're all very thankful for the work that you do. I know you do a lot of good for a lot of people. So, you're carrying that NJCDC right now, Christina. You know what I mean? So.
And now we also have to always think that we're here for a reason, but it's also the work that NJCDC does. And we just finished celebrating our 30th anniversary.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
And Bob's been doing an amazing work, and God bless him. And now Eddie's the president of the Board of Education, so he's also very, very busy.
Yeah,
and it's hard. These are difficult times for us, even though we do a lot and we do our best, but it's hard because sometimes when we need to make decisions or do certain things, and our directors are not there because they're making other decisions and bigger issues, we just have to do the things that sometimes they're not there for us, but we have to do it anyway, and they trust us to do what we need to do.
For
so,
sure.
We're
you
very
built
happy.
the good reputation to do that, you know what I mean? So there you go.
Thank you.
So let's get into this a little bit.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of mini grant workshops happening. So can you go a little more in depth about the new and upcoming?
Yes, actually, we're having a meeting. I think it's tomorrow or today. No, next week. Next week with our marketing department. We are again promoting the second round of our mini grants. We received grants from the regional foundation. We're going to be providing over $100,000 in small mini grants of $1,000 to 10 individuals every 6 months, so they can showcase their talent. They can and they can share whatever they love to do with us, and then we'll create a program for them and invite the community, and just make things happen, and share it with everyone that's interested in enrolling in their programs.
Wonderful.
Basically.
Yeah. And I know the first round was very successful.
Yes. Yes. Actually, every Saturday we have a dance class, and it's been grown. Like, we started with maybe 5 members, and now we have over 30,
Wow.
dancing every, and I joined that class too. I love it. Yes. The Afro dance. We're probably going to invite them next time to come and share.
Perfect. Hopefully they sign up for another, another round.
Yeah. That's what we're trying to do. Yes.
Perfect. I know it's gonna be very exciting.
Yes.
So
and the applications are coming up probably next month.
Next month.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're inviting all.
Well, next month meaning April. Yeah.
April.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
April. So that I think the end of the enrollment time is going to be in May, and we're going to choose the grantees by June.
Okay.
And starting in the summer.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
So next thing I wanted to talk about, Antonio, might be your expertise with the LEAD project. So can you kind of explain what the initiative is and how it's going to impact residents?
Sure. So obviously we've known for 100 years that lead was poisoning our children, and recently we received a pretty sizable grant to help remediate and abate those hazards. Our goal is to hit 106 houses by December of next year. And so the way the program works is that the state provides us with the money up front. So therefore, we could assist 4 family homes, and it has to be built before 1978, and it has to be structurally sound. So we go out there and we inspect. We inspect the lead in the property. If it comes back positive, we do a couple of reports, and then we start getting contractors to give us pricing for the house. We pretty much handle everything from permitting on down to the repairs, and we have specially trained personnel that go out and do the testing. We have specially trained personnel that come out and ensure that the contractors are doing their jobs. So it's pretty much, other than paperwork, it's pretty much hands off for the tenant.
Yeah.
And it's based on, there is it has to be 80% of the median income for our county. So there are some income qualifications that have to go through, but it is a tenant-based program. So tenants can come forward and say, I believe I have lead, and we will liaise with the owner when it is a positive test. The fact is that I believe it was a year ago, if I'm not mistaken, Gexon, that we had a law passed that you have to be lead safe to rent out an apartment. So this benefits the landlords in many ways, because if there is lead in the residence and the tenant contacted us, they're not really taking the hit for the repairs. It's coming out of state funding. So in a sense, it's pretty much free money or free repairs if the apartment qualifies and if the tenants qualify for these things. One thing that is important is that lead is known for many developmental disorders for children. Kids walk through the floors and lead dust is on the floor, and they grab this, and they touch it, they put it in their mouths, because children put everything in their mouth, right? And children with high levels have many developmental disorders. Have it's been connected with kidney failure and all other types of ailments. So it's important for us to get out there into the community and make sure that we, to the best of our abilities, try to abate these hazards for children.
Okay. And I know NJCDC has had their sights on the lead issue in Patterson for a long time. Like ever since I was even in Patterson Youth Council, they had us like in high school, they had us like come in with like to test our water for like lead levels and stuff too. So say if I'm a parent, how do I find information, or I'm a tenant, how do I find information to get involved with this program?
Well, right now it's on our website, and we have a QR code that will be posted. Okay. It will provide you with all the information necessary for signing up.
Okay.
One of our staff will contact you to make an appointment to go to your residence after we qualify the house. So we're doing a little pre-qualification stuff. Patterson is a very old city, obviously. I mean, and we expect that many homes will be testing positive for lead. So this whole 106 mark that I'm so concerned about December, I think we're going to be at 100 and something else.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be begging the state for more money because we have more houses than we have money.
Yeah.
But in that realm of things, we really want to focus, especially in our district and with people who have children, especially under 6, because they're still in those developmental years that could negatively impact their lives.
Yeah.
But that's not only what we're focusing on. I've told people, because we've had people come in for the lead testing already, and a lot of them say, "Oh, well, I don't have children," or "I'm going to be moving out in June or July, so I really don't want to," all these issues. But I tell them, listen, if you don't have a child now, you're helping the next parent who walks into that house and rents it. And you don't worry about yourself as much as the fact that you're going to leave in June, and there's a possibility that a child will live there. And what's the harm in us coming and testing and making sure it's okay?
Yeah.
So and that has changed people's minds, because some people don't want to start trouble for their landlord. I don't want him to kick me out. I don't want to. It's, first of all, it's illegal, to kick someone out for that type of complaint.
Yeah.
But in this case, they're not complaining. We're offering a free program, and residents who have entrusted us over the past 30 years are opening their doors to make sure that their houses are lead safe. And we obviously, that's our mission with this program, and we want to ensure that they get the services that they need.
Yeah, definitely meeting the need. Besides, lead testing, what other, I just want to touch upon again, what other resources that the Neighborhood Health Center provides?
So now that we have this great project, we also, going into their homes, and we're going to be checking on the families and see how they are. So we're going to bring them to the Neighborhood Health Center to, help them. So they're going to become a lead for the office. We have our case manager, Luz Maldonado, who's actually going to transition to Barclay, and we're going to be sending clients over to her at Barclay too, so she can help them out. And we are still with checking and reviewing interviews for that position. That position is still open. We have a new hire, Melanie, who was actually started yesterday. Yeah. And she's here with us today, and we're going to invite her next month to come and talk about her experience. But she's also going to be helping client families also with, helping them, bringing resources and information to them. And also Gexon now with his experience with the DCA and housing, which is probably one of the biggest issues we have in Patterson.
Yeah.
So a lot of things are coming, and our calendar is full. But we actually getting the help that we need.
Perfect. I know you guys are making a lot of moves. You guys are making a lot of moves.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I think that's it for today's podcast. Thank you guys for coming here, for being open to talk. Behind the microphone is not always easy, so I appreciate you guys. And hopefully see you guys again soon.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.